Hello and welcome again to another edition of Talking Out Loud with me, George Cressy. And the first post-Malawi seasons. This is the first one recorded back here on British soil. And it's a TOL debut for all-round top gent and Portuguese pirate lookalike, Rodrigo Guedes. Now, Rod and me have a history dating back to 2016, where I worked for the man for 2 months at his incredible hostel, Misfit, on the sunny shores of Mancora, Peru. I stayed with him for 2 months. Decided to repay some of the debt owed by inviting him over to Bristol for a 5-day trip. Clearly, he liked what he saw, and instead of 5 days, he stayed for 30. And this was recorded on his final evening in Bristol. What a pleasure it was to have him over. We'll talk through, essentially, travels, as Rod takes us through his South American adventure, from driving through Chavez's Venezuela back in 2009, to finding himself broke and working on a farm in central Brazil, all the way through to what inspired him to set up and run his own hostel, starting with only €1,500. We also touch on the fundamentals of what makes a great hostel, what he gets from travelling, and touch on his plans for the future as well. It's a great show. So I hope you like what you hear. As ever, do get in touch if you do like what you hear, or if you just want to reach out. Always happy to chat. If you think you've got a good podcast idea, do get in touch. Happy to help out where I can. But for now, I'll leave you with Rodrigo Guedes. Play it! So hello and welcome aboard to another episode of Talking Out Loud with, again, me, George Cressy. Again, no one has reached out yet for an opportunity to guest host on Talking Out Loud. As ever, we are always looking for people out there who fancy a little run at this themselves. Do reach out at banquetbear.com. Get me on Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, surprisingly, and even Instagram. Do try to reach out. I don't monitor all the inboxes, is another thing to remember. So if you have reached out on Instagram over the last 3 months, I probably have missed your message. But I will check that shortly and get back to you. Enough with the admin. Here we are in 22 Hampton Road, home for myself and Craig Brabble. And over the last month, to another gentleman by the name of
Rodrigo. That's the best name there is, mate.
It's a strong name.
It's a very strong name, indeed. It is. Good name.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So welcome to my flat, everyone, for the last month at least. So it's been good fun.
Oh, it has. It certainly has. It certainly has. Yeah. So you've so where to begin, I guess. So we'll start, as I mentioned before, name, age, best film over the last 5 years. I think that's generally quite a good.
Oh man, name, Rodrigo. So age 40. Yeah, I'm from Portugal, and the last film on the last 5 years. Can't remember the best, although I can tell you that the two worst ones I've seen in the last 5 years was probably Bumblebee and Aquaman. So, but yeah, the best one, I don't know.
Bumblebee and Aquaman.
Yeah, they were horrible, man. I just watched them like about a week ago. Not even a week, less than that. The best one last 5 years. Oof. I don't know, man. I watched so many of them. It's tricky though.
Particular style, particular brand of film, genre.
I don't know, man. Everything about superheroes like everyone else. I do have to watch a lot of Argentinian movies. Oh yeah, the last 5 years, Segredo dos Ojos, Secret in Her Eyes, but the original version, the Argentinian version, that was wicked. Yeah, my girlfriend is Argentinian. Yeah, she made me watch it. It's wicked.
Interesting.
Hollywood version is absolute crap, but the original one is.
What's the premise? What's the?
I think you should watch it, but the synopsis is basically like something like a girl is kidnapped and a mum, so they can't find who the kidnapper is. And a mum through a photo sees the eyes of the killer, and she chases him, and then she cuts him, and she imprisons him herself.
Oh, sheesh.
So yeah,
Oh,
and the
fuck.
police officer years later found out that this, which
Oh,
is
yeah, no, that sounds good.
it's good, mate. It's a good movie. It's
That
a
does
very
sound
movie.
good.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a bit,
good.
like old boyish in a way.
Yeah, a bit,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Argentinians surprisingly have really good movies. Yeah, that was one, and like, and then another one which is like something about short stories from Argentina as well is quite nice. So yeah, but that one was
Yeah.
interesting because like for months I told like, nah, I don't watch your foreign movies, whatever.
Yeah, cool.
And then I watched, I was like, wow, well done, well played. I should have watched it earlier. So yeah, so
Alright.
that will cause an impact for so many reasons.
Sweet, man. Alright,
That's it.
I'll check it out.
So you
I'll
should,
check it out.
you should.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's got to be on Netflix if it isn't horror.
For sure, but again, remember, just the original version.
Oh,
Hollywood
sure,
one
yeah,
is
okay.
horrible. Horrible. It's just not.
But lost
yeah.
in translation, almost.
It's just not. It's like typical Hollywood adaptation, and it's with Juliet Roberts and everything, so it's quite nice, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah,
Or
okay.
maybe it was the same. I've seen the other one before, so it probably didn't work for me because of that.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say
yeah.
out of the one, I'll go with the original one.
Yeah, I agree. I think that
Yeah.
that's relevant to so many things there. Like the
True.
original, generally, like the people, the first
Absolutely.
sort of seed of an idea, like that's where you kind of
Absolutely agree with you
That's where
100%. It's quite hard to find a follow up that is as good or better. It's
Mm-hmm.
really hard. It's the same story like about reading a book and then watching the movie.
It's true. It's
Almost
hard.
all the times the books are always better.
It's true, though, isn't it? It's hard to imitate something.
True, because it's your imagination, isn't it? That plays a part in the book, so it's always
Mm-hmm.
better. And then when you watch a movie, you're like, oh, okay, this bit is better, but overall, mine was a bit better because it was more mine, if you can say so.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound too stupid, but.
No, not at all.
But
That
for
makes
me, it
complete
is.
sense.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it like I don't remember seeing honestly any film that I was like, oh yeah, I prefer the film to my reading. Nah, I don't remember
Yes.
it.
No, I agree with that.
I don't remember it.
Like even Lord of the Rings is my
Yeah.
all-time favourite film.
Mhm.
Like, those books I've read them 3 times now, and I still believe them to be like where you can go, where you can sort of visualize. They haven't even scratched the surface with that film. Almost of what
Yeah.
what I
Absolutely,
perceive
absolutely.
to be the best.
But you read the books before.
Yes.
See, I have a flaw on that. Like I'm like most people, I read the books after.
Yeah.
So I was already like, my brain was already like following a bit of the movie, which was a bit
Yeah,
of a
no,
pain in the
sure.
ass.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
still, I was like, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Books still better.
Yeah.
So I was quite pissed off about why the hell did I watch the movies before, which I love as well, same as you.
Sure.
Fucking top, they're top. But why the hell didn't I read the books first?
Yeah.
I should have. I should
I
have.
think I forced myself to in the end, like because my dad read The Hobbit to me like when I was like 4 years old.
Oh,
or something,
nice.
You know, I had no idea what was going on.
Oh, lucky.
All I knew was just like, yeah, he's trying to force something down my throat. It turned out it was like Lord of the Rings stuff, and I was like, oh, fair enough. There's definitely worse
Sweet
things.
as. Oh,
And I
that's
even
impressive.
tried Lord of the Rings when I was like 6 or 7. Like, it was
Oh,
trying
that's
to, like,
amazing,
reading that.
though.
And then I caught
Oh,
on
I'm
to it
jealous
just
about
before
that.
the
Fucking jealous
before
about
the films. But yeah, no, I don't know how well, I'd say I read it. When was the first film come out? 2001. So
Yeah.
that's about 10 years old. So it was like I got like a really basic version of like
True.
what you can actually absorb at that age.
For
you
you,
know.
yeah, I was already 20, so yeah.
Yeah,
I was
well,
a
that's
bit older,
it. Yeah.
A bit older.
But no. Oh, it's a nice digression. But yeah, so I guess it's quite useful just to recap in terms of why the hell any of this has happened, why we're in the flat, how we know each other in the first place.
True.
It's quite a good
It's
place
good to
start.
recap. So yeah, we met a few years. Yeah. So we met a few years back. How long ago? Like
2015.
15
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
Sheesh, time flies. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
met in Peru, where I had a hostel up north in Mancora, and you ended up to stay for there to what? 2 days, and you stay for what?
Yeah, 2 months.
2 months. Here you go.
Yeah.
So basically, I came to do the same. I came to stay for 5 days in a house, and I decided to stay for a month as well. So what goes around comes around, man.
No,
Just,
it's true. Yeah.
so technically, you still owe me a few months for my.
Well, yeah,
My
you got a
maths,
month.
yeah.
You got a month. Well, yeah. I mean, there's loads of
You're really not going to play
technicalities.
that card that you work there, are you? Like, I know you play this card with your parents and your brother and all that, your mates.
Definitely going to play that.
Fair
card,
enough,
I think.
but we both know what happened. Like, your job was basically, man, almost nothing, basically. Yeah. Like mine as well, even though I was the owner, it was just like,
2 to 3 hours
So, yeah.
of serving people pina coladas on
yeah, true,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And a job well
It's up
done,
there.
though. A job well
Thank
done.
you, appreciate that. Still to this day, I think one of the most enjoyable jobs I've ever had.
Good.
in
Happy for
sense.
that.
Yeah, no, so congrats.
All right.
Congrats.
Cheers.
So no, I definitely go with that. I think so. Post that then, so we finished that, and that's obviously I did a month there the first time round. Went travelling, came back for a second.
Yeah,
by
a repeat.
cherry,
Yeah.
So congrats again.
Cheers.
Didn't really live
That's
up
good,
to
that's
Machu
good.
Picchu. Machu Picchu didn't really live up. Sorry to Misfit.
The expectation. Yeah, it's true. Different lifestyle. Yeah. Well, I think the hostel was, like, as you know, it was like more of a lifestyle than anything else, and it was like, I think. Well, I'm absolutely sure. My concept was like it's a perfect place for you to have a break on your holidays. So it's when you can have holidays on your holidays, and I think it worked to perfection. People loved it, and I love it. It's like for you, it was your best job that you had, or one of the best jobs you had. Most relaxed. For me, it was what I did, and I agree with you. Exactly the same. Was my best job, but for 5.5 years.
That's awesome.
So it was quite good, and we basically live on the beach. Our job was to wake up anytime we wanted, to pretty much do what we wanted, as long as like the daily to daily things were done, like greeting guests, serving guests, getting breakfast out, nothing too fancy, and then just enjoy life. So yeah, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it.
So what got this kick-started then? So obviously, prior to this, we do a little bit of a sort of
The hostel.
Yeah.
Well, the hostel was so I was already living up there in Mancora, and so I did 1 year traveling in South America. I've enjoyed Mancora.
How old were you when you went?
I was like about 32 when I was traveling.
What sparked you? What got you?
I was having a rough time back in Lisbon emotionally. I was about to open my my own bar in Lisbon, and just a day before I signed the lease, just all these news about the recession and all that, just made me like, I'm not going to invest, because in the next like 4 to 5 years I'm just going to stay here to pay bills.
Okay.
So not having a proper life. So the next day I went to the same meeting. I told the guy, which was like pretty much my age, said, I'm sorry, like I'm not going to have this. I need to rethink what I'm doing. And yes, a month later, I was already in Brazil. So I packed everything, said goodbye to the family and friends. And technically, I went to South America for 3 months because I had the job offered to manage a new bar in Barcelona, which I was quite excited. And it was in Barrio Gótico, which is probably like my favorite part in Barcelona. And it was also like a salsa bar. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll learn some salsa and all that in my cocktail. Yeah, so I was very excited about it. So the goal was that. 3 months South America, this is what I asked the owner of the bar. And then I will fly. The goal was for me to fly back to Portugal for my birthday, was the 30th of June. And then the next day I'll be in Barcelona to start working. But when I started working, like about 2 months after I was, not even 2 months, I think a month later after I started working, I was already having too much fun. So I decided to go a bit further. At the time, everyone was talking about Colombia, so I was like, okay, I wanted to see Colombia since everyone was talking about it, and there was this mystic up in the air about like what's going on in Colombia, how dangerous it is, Pablo Escobar, cocaine, this, that. Not like cocaine is my cup of tea, but still, you want to know what the hell is going on about in Colombia, and the women as well, which is like, So I was quite excited and very curious about it, and also nervous about it. So I did so. I extended my trip for 9 months, said no to the job. Kept on traveling, stayed in Mancora. Someone offered me a job in Mancora at the best hostel that was there, and I said, no, I'm not ready to. I want to keep on traveling.
Cool.
Then I finally got to Colombia. I was supposed to go home. Then there was the opportunity to drive a car by myself all the way through Venezuela to Brazil, which I could not say no. So I did that. I refused. It was quite interesting. Yeah.
How did that come about? What was the?
I met this Brazilian guy in Mancora, as a matter of fact. Since Mancora is always in my life. When I was traveling, and he was taught me kite lessons. And by the time we got to Colombia, we were up north, and he showed up with his girlfriend at the time. And of course, we hung out quite a lot. There was like a huge group of us. We were all like splitting apart in Cartagena. Like some were going up north, some were to Panama, some were going back home. And Pedro, this Brazilian guy, he drove his car all the way from Brazil through Bolivia and Peru and all that. So he was now in Colombia and had a problem because he couldn't sell his car over there, and he wanted to go to Panama with his girlfriend.
Okay.
but the car had to go back to Brazil.
Ah.
And I was in this dilemma about like 3 ways. Should I go home, which I don't want to?
Sure.
Should I go to Panama, which it will be alright, but mainly just see the islands. I was not that keen on going to Central America. Or can I just go and do all South America? I was like, well, fuck it, that's it.
Yeah.
So then I told Pedro, hey, if you want, mate, I'll drive your car, no problem. So the next day, yeah, we just did like a paper. Then he gave me all the rights to,
Yeah.
easy peasy. 2 days later, I left Colombia on my own. I won his car. So it was a Portuguese guy driving a Brazilian car coming out of Colombia to Venezuela.
Christ.
Which was super fun, but it was painful because even though my Spanish at the time was quite alright, not as good as it is now, every police control, and there are so many Venezuela, I had to stop the car, giving so much explanation, this and that, and it was an absolute pain. So
When
yeah,
was
the
this?
first
What year?
same year I was traveling. Same year.
2011, 2010?
Yeah, 2011 now.
Okay.
No, 2009, man.
Was it?
Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, of course. 2009, man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
So the political situation even then was pretty ropey.
yeah,
Fair to say.
it was. It was.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't as bad, but it was already like a lot of. At the time, it was still Chavez in power, so the country was quite stable. But there was like a lot of Chavistas and a lot of anti-Chavistas. So, but the country was quite stable. The problem was again, like for the police, it was like there's a Brazilian car coming from Colombia, and there's so narco trafficking. So and the Portuguese fellas. So a lot of questions. A lot of questions.
It's gonna be.
But and I was taking all of them. But you have these police control. It's just the army. There's like it can be just 2 guys. It can be 20 of them, and they have loads of them. I don't know for what reason. So it started being like I was driving like about 8 hours, 10 hours on a car that wasn't mine. So I was a bit exhausted, a bit nervous as well. God damn it, I'm here by myself. I didn't tell my family I was doing this because I didn't want anyone to be scared.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I just told my mom, look, I'm gonna go up in the mountains, so I'm not gonna have any connection for like about 7 days to a week, 7 days to 10 days. So if I don't say anything, don't get upset about it. So I didn't tell anyone. I just told one of my best mates, look, I'm gonna go and do this. If anything happens, my body will be somewhere in Venezuela. He was like, but what route are you taking? I said, I have no idea, man. I just got the car today. I'm leaving like in about 2 days. It's all you need to know.
Okay.
Like, so if my man starts crying, tell him he's not dead in Colombia. He's dead in Venezuela. So quite good fun. And
No doubt.
so yeah, the first like 3-4 days I had most fun, but then there was a day that was just like I think I had like 5 of those police controls, and one of them which really pissed me off was the last one. Was like it was one road that is just the same road up and down, and they stopped me on the way up, and I went to the beach by myself, had good fun, had nice seafood. Came back with the same 2 army guys, and they stopped me again. I said, nah, mate, you're taking a piss. And that they said, that's it, I want to get out of Venezuela. And everything was really tense and all that.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
although petrol was brilliant, man.
No
Cheap
doubt.
as hell. It cost me, I remember like, it cost me more a bottle of water of 1.5 liters than like the whole tank. So I just started laughing. I was like, I love this country. This is it.
Yeah.
But everything else was expensive. Food was expensive. The rooms were expensive because they don't have any hostels. Everything's like private rooms. So everywhere I stopped, I was like spending quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So that said, so I did Venezuela by myself, went back to Brazil, did another month in Brazil, blew all my money in Brazil. In a month, I spent like all my money that I had left, which was like 3,000 euros. I had most fun that month. I drank everything I wanted, I ate everything I wanted, I smoked everything I wanted, and I slept anywhere I wanted and who the hell I wanted to. So yeah, it was a brilliant month. Although that slept was like always the same French girl. Nonetheless, moving on. So...
Okay, so $3,000 later, and
yeah, $3,000 later, like Christmas Day. So this was like about 9 months after my trip started. Christmas Day, I found out I had absolutely no money in my bank account, and I was in Rio, and I still had to pay the hostel to get the hell out of there. So yeah, called the family. Family said, "This is your fucking problem. You made this mess. You sort yourself out."
Nice.
So I had to borrow some money from my dad. Definitely not a loan. He was not even a loan. He was like, "This is not one of those loans of you like, hey, I'll pay you, God knows when."
Yeah.
It was definitely like proper. Like, send me an email saying you owe me this money,
Gotcha.
which was hilarious. I was like, "What the hell is wrong with you, old man? I'm still not going to pay you, even though if you have the email." I haven't paid it yet. So nonetheless, it wasn't that much money. It was like only about 300 euros or so for me to get out. So I went to live I ended up living in a farm right in the middle of Brazil, like close to the border of Bolivia, for like 10 months of my life, killing pigs and chickens to survive. Not getting paid, just like a plate of food a day, and that was it, and a pack of ciggies. Because I'm a heavy smoker, that was all I got. So it was good because of that. Like I stopped drinking beers during those 10 months, stopped smoking spliffs since I had no money, and after that I finally made my way back to Lima and stayed there working a hostel for like about 3 months as a bar manager. And then they offered me to be the hostel manager up north in Mancora. So I went back to Mancora and I managed their hostel for like about over a year. And I met my girlfriend there, and at the time the plan was for me to go to live with her in Argentina. So I went to stay with her in Argentina for about a couple of weeks. Came back and I stayed in my neighbor's house. And this is important to say because the hostel was divided. The hostel I was managed was divided in two parts. The hostel itself and like a land attached to it that belonged to another person, but it was right on the beachfront and had 4 bungalows. And we were kind of having this partnership with the owner, a very dodgy partnership, like Peruvian style, but we had it. So and that gave that hostel like access to the beach. But when I went to sleep to my neighbors, so his house is right next to the hostel, but you can see that plot of land from a different point of view that I've never looked at from. And I was like, whoa, this is a huge plot of land, and I'm pretty sure I can make a hostel out of this. So that night I did sleep, I ran all the numbers, I did how much I can do, what can I do to the rooms, what I need to build, this and that. And then by the end of the night, 7 o'clock in the morning, I remember I was like, this is it, I can do a hostel. I have the money, I'm going to do a hostel. So next day, super excited, I called my girlfriend and said, look, I'm sorry, I'm not going to Argentina. She got really pissed off about it, but I told her, look, there's this land, I'm going to try and get it. I told my receptionist at the time as well, like, look, I'm going to do this, do you want to come with me? Argentinian fella was like, absolutely, let's do it. And I told my neighbor as well, when he came back, said, I'm going to do this. And he was like, I don't think you should, like, you know, like, it's not right and all that. I said, all right, it's up to you, man, I'm still going to do it. And the next day, he came to see my neighbor, woke me up like 7 o'clock in the morning, and he was like, do you know what? I was thinking about what he said. I think you should do it, man. I think you can do an amazing hostel. So that's what I did. I chased the land. I got the land. I went to Argentina for 2 months on holidays. Quit that job on the hostel. I told the owner of that hostel I was gonna. Well, I didn't say specifically, but I gave the hint. Someone is trying to steal that plot of land, so be careful. We didn't pay attention. And in my last email, like saying goodbye and thank you for everything, I still mentioned that. Careful, negotiate that land. He didn't do it, so I went to Argentina for 2 months. When I got there, I got a job offer from another hotel from Mancora. I came back to Mancora after 2 months. 4 days in a bus, by the way. It took me 4 days from Buenos Aires to Mancora on the bus straight. And yeah, painful. And so I start working that hotel, managing that hotel, which was like about 50 meters away from my future plot of land, my future hostel. And the owner of the hotel knew, they knew, I told them straight away that I was trying to open my own hostel, and they knew which hostel it was, and they knew that it was a land that used to belong to the hostel I used to work. So everything was crystal clear, and everyone knew I was chasing this land. And so after I think like about maybe 2 months of being there, maybe 2-3 months, the owner finally told me, hey, let's go. The land is yours. So yeah, so I signed the contract in August. I opened doors in September. Yeah, a month later, on the day I opened doors, I straight away had a family coming in. They had a blast. They were supposed to stay there. Yeah, English family, as a matter of fact. It was Paul. What was the name? I don't remember the name. Pretty girl. And his 2 kids, and they were supposed to stay for 2 nights. Ended up staying for 5. Nice. Which already showed like where this hostel was gonna go. Cool. And I made absolutely no money out of them because I was just like always like throwing barbecues for free and all that. But they loved it, and that was it. That's how the hostel started. And yeah, we stayed there for 4.5 years. 4.5 years. Yeah, I stayed 5.5 years in Mancora, but it was just 4.5 years in my hostel. So yeah, and now I've been back in Portugal for 2 years. Yeah, and when you met me, I was about to leave. when you met me over there in Mancora, you knew
Yeah,
what it was
sure.
about.
Yeah. It's
So-
right at the end, right at the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
The last hurrah almost of Misfit.
True. It was when I was absolutely exhausted. I was just fed up of it.
Oh
The
man.
hostel was giving me great fun. I loved the scenery of it, like the location, everything. But it's just the town itself, as you know, Mancora is
Yeah.
a shithole.
Oh, you scratch a little deeper than the
It's just too much, man.
the wall-to-wall sunshine you can go.
Yeah.
It's not quite wall-to-wall sunshine in people's hearts here.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. It's brilliant
Cheers,
for.
Craig. That's a-
Excuse
Yeah.
me. It's brilliant for a week, 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months. You're gonna love that place. It's just like beers, sun, surfing, people in bikinis and having a good laugh, barbecues, which you do love. So that's
Yeah.
good. But 4.5 years having to deal with the locals and all these people begging you for money and threatening you about, oh, you need protection, this and that, it just became too much.
Yeah.
So that took its toll on me. Then my girlfriend went to live there with me for the last 2 years. And she had a depression because, Mancora was just too much.
Oh, it's yeah.
So that didn't help the cause. We had our dogs, so that made us like stay a bit long. And then it came one day that we just exploded and was like, all right, let's get out.
Yeah.
And we just packed our things. We didn't care how we left. We just took care of the dogs, make sure they were okay, and then we just left, and that was it.
Nice.
That was it. Although the plan, as you know, was to go to Cuba, and I was super excited about it. That's why I was
keen for
willing
that.
to leave Mancora.
Yeah.
Because my plan was always to go to Cuba and start everything all over. Because it's what I like the most, like to start everything all over. So that's
well,
why
that's
this is always something new.
Yeah, no doubt.
But so we went to, the plan was to go to Portugal with my girlfriend for 3 months, have some nice holidays. And then 3 months later, so by January, I was supposed to be in Cuba and starting everything. And everything pretty much arranged. I met a lot of people that were willing to invest. They liked what we did in Mancora.
Yeah, sure.
So I thought, like, yeah, we have a proper plan. But after like about a month being in Lisbon, my girlfriend just told me, like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in Portugal. So that changes everything.
Of course, yeah, and you kind of have to, you have to appreciate it.
Yeah, and you have to give
It's a
some
two-way street
concessions.
now and again. Yeah, exactly. That's
But it took me still like about well past Christmas to really absorb that. It was like, oh man, this is true. I'm really staying in Portugal.
Yeah, okay.
Even though I left Portugal, I never wanted to live in Portugal. I always found out like there was far better places. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took its toll though. Like emotionally for me, it was devastating. For her, it was quite nice. Like I helped her starting her own brand, and everything went smooth. And we moved out of Lisbon, she opened her own shop. We got our own flat, and everything went amazing or quite good. I wouldn't say amazing, but it went quite well for 6 months and all that. But for me, it was just like, yeah, professionally and emotionally, I was a bit broken.
Yeah,
I was
of
happy
course.
to be with her, but I was really pissed off where we were.
Yeah, I'm with you. Your creative side's almost just lying.
Basically everything dies. But
Yeah.
in a way, it was my turn to say, all right, fair enough. You supported me for so long back in
So
Mancora,
true.
so now it's my turn to support you. And I helped her with the shop. I started going there and selling her the scarves that she makes and all that. And yeah, tried to have fun, but I was still, there was something in me. I was just like, gosh, this is killing me. This is definitely not me.
I got you.
I'm not the guy to work in the scarf shop for sure.
Yeah.
So after so many years on the beach and 7.5 years in South America, it was just painful.
Yeah.
So, but here we are though.
Yeah, no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt. So just nipping back to the hostel side then. So what was the key thing? So obviously 4 years or nearly 5 years is a hell of a long time. To
Yeah.
be managing a hostel.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah.
what was the ethos behind it? Why did it take off as it did?
The motivation behind it.
Yeah, and also what were the principles behind what you wanted to deliver as a hostel? Like what was different about yours?
There was quite a mix of motivations. First of all, it was the fact that I really wanted to stay in South America. I didn't want to go back home. And for sure, and I also knew like I didn't want to live in Buenos Aires. For as much as I love it as a tourist, not to live in. I'm not very keen on the Porteño society. So,
Okay.
and there was always one thing that quite pissed me off about South America when I traveled for almost that year. It was like my idea of South America was like bungalows on the beach, like loads of bungalows on the beach, like beach parties and all that, all the fun. And I found almost none of them, almost non-existent, and so that was a bit disappointing. And so that's what I decided to do. I decided to create like a proper hostel. Is just like exactly that, and it was what it was. Bungalows right on the beach, nothing in front, just you, sand, and the ocean. And yeah, it proved to be a success. So our motivation was more that, and also to prove to everyone else, there's like, we can do better.
Okay.
You can do better. Like I was fed up of all these party hostels. There was just too many. I understand there's a market for them and all that. It's brilliant. They're a good place to stay, but after a while, it just becomes too much.
Yeah.
So I decided more to do something different and spending far less money. So my original investment was like, I had about $1,500. That's what I started the hostel with. $1,500.
That's impressive.
And about a few months later, so the first 3-4 months were rough, but like 6 months later, we were doing pretty much that per month. So it was quite nice. But in between, I borrowed money from here and there because I had to buy beds, I had to buy this, and I didn't have the proper plan. I just decided to jump in. I was like, if you give me the land, I'll sort it out. And that's all I needed, and that's what I got. But my motivation was more that I didn't want to go home. I wanted to live by the beach, and I wanted to do something different. So that was it. That was the motivation behind Misfit, and never the money.
Gotcha.
Like we never did proper management of the hostel, which you realize that when you were there. Like we don't. Like I call one of my best mates, which was Adam. I met him in Lima. He worked for me in Lima when I was a bar manager.
Cool.
And then when I went to Mancora to manage the other hostel as the hostel manager, I called him to come back from England and be my bar manager, which he did.
Oh, sweet.
And then when I got the land, I called him again to England and said, come in here, I want you to come and work with me, and which he did.
Fantastic.
And I told him straight away, look, we can make money out of this, but it's what matters the least to me. I just really want to have fun, because at the time I was also waiting for my girlfriend to finish university. So I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I don't want to go anywhere. I had no plans on like coming back home or having a future life with her. Like at the time, I was just enjoying the moment. So money was not a problem. That's why we made $20 profit. We'd spend $20 in chicken just to cook a massive barbecue for everyone.
That's awesome.
We didn't give a toss about it. So maybe that helped. Maybe that probably helped. That was the secret as well. Probably if you were like more keen on the money, like not let people have so many of those amazing croissants that everyone loved in the morning, or people like not getting free beers. But hey, we were just like two lads, and I cannot, because the hostel would never be what it was without Adam. So yeah, he took like a huge part of it. A lot of credit to the man. So yeah, we're just two lads having a lot of laughs. So yeah, that was it. Yeah.
So a lot of the mystique around Misfit ended up being around the TripAdvisor comments.
True.
And hostel world. So I read these when I landed at Misfit. And a few days before, just before I actually came, I was scrolling through and sort of looking at them, and a couple of 1 stars. No, we only had 1 star, man, in 3.5 years. But only one?
Only 1 star.
Wow.
Only 1 star, and I think like about 3 2 stars. About everything else was pretty much 4 and 5s.
And then
we were number 1 for 3.5 years, which is impressive. And how we got there, only God knows. Because we never deserved to be number 1. No, I'm sorry, man, but you see the hostel, like, okay, the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure we deserve to be number 1. But the facilities was like, what the hell is going on in here?
Yeah,
like,
agreed.
Could this be more Chavez? What the hell? Like, can you just nail that? We're like, yeah, tomorrow. So, like, the doors
you
are
having a
cooking.
good time? Yeah, having a good time. All right, then.
So, yeah, we put all our effort on the atmosphere, and it worked. And the location. The location was prime. To a lot of people, I understand like the 10 minutes walk from town was too much, which baffled me, but fair enough. I understand that a lot of people want to be around the center. Okay, it's cool.
True.
But for us, like people that wanted to stay there, same as you, the location was perfect because it's you and the ocean. There's nothing in between. There's no fences. It's just sand. It's the bungalow, sand, water. Perfect. So the dogs roaming around, having no gates for and no walls for a lot of people was like disturbing. For most people, it was like, a sense of freedom, so to speak.
Agreed.
So in that sense, it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to have
Yeah, the rest was just...
the reviews that you got that weren't, let's say, complimentary to Misfit, often mistakenly.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But what I liked about it was the fact that you gave as well as you got, almost, in that sense.
Oh, I think you should, man.
Yeah.
I think you should.
I think you're bang on, and that's what
I think every hostel
drew a
should
lot of
do
troubles
that.
towards Misfit was the
True.
style in which you countered criticism.
I'm an horrible person, but I am indeed, like, and I love to, if I get insulted, it's fine, but you gotta expect for me to insult you back.
Sure.
So one thing that I hated when I was managing the other hostel was like, so the owner was always asking me to reply to the reviews. I was like, I don't like to be a kiss ass, and much less like be very go down on my fours and like beg for your forgiveness because you did enjoy it, because it was a party hostel. Well, it's a freaking party hostel, so I'm not going to apologize for what we are. So when people start criticizing my hostel and I had absolute freedom about to reply to them, I remember the first one. I don't know what the person said. It was a girl though. I don't know what she said, but it drove me mad. And it really, like, it just clicked on all my buttons, because I don't mind if you criticize the fact that the hostel, like, again, it's shabby, or it's like, it's a bit shitty, like, it's unorganized, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
If it's on valid premises, my head off and I apologize, and look, there's far better options, off you go. And it's fine. And you can say that on the internet or not be pissed off about it. But if you start complaining about stupid things, I'll go mental, man.
Yeah.
So that girl complained about something. I remember, like, I wrote the reply to her. I showed Adam, this is what I replied to her. This was on Hostel Bookers. At the time, we weren't working on Hostel World, and they were not even together. And Adam said to me straight away, you cannot reply that. I said, why not? Mate, you're mental. You're just going at her throat. I said, but you have to. I'm not taking any shit. I'm sorry, man. And he was like, no, think about it, have a night's sleep, and then we'll talk tomorrow. I said, cool. So I sent to my girlfriend, hey, look, the girl just wrote this, I'm going to reply this. She was like, no, you can't. I was like, why is everyone telling me I can't? And I showed the guest as well over there at the hostel. He was like, oh, mate, that's harsh. I said, do you know what, go fuck yourself. And I published it. And I start, like, just really, look.
Do you remember what it was? Do you remember what it was?
I don't.
What
Adam said it on his
oh,
on his
good,
phone.
okay. It'll surface one day.
Adam had it, because, like, us all, like, they go out every 6 months. TripAdvisor, they always stay there. But TripAdvisor replied once, and straight away they told me, like, you cannot say that. I was like, what the hell? Yeah, you should read our guidelines. So I wrote to them, okay, go and fuck yourself in your guidelines. So, because it was a girl, like, again, so my girlfriend's actually, this girl on TripAdvisor, I remember perfectly. She complained that we didn't speak enough Spanish. And I was like, are you mental? My girlfriend is Argentinian. I speak Spanish to my girlfriend fluently every day. We don't speak any other language. And you telling me, like, I just went mental.
Look.
And I told TripAdvisor, technically I didn't offend the girl. I might offend the mum, but that's a different thing. And that doesn't say anything on the guidelines. She was like, still, you can't. I was like, okay, cool. So I never was allowed to reply again on TripAdvisor. But Hostel World and then Hostel Bookers, because they became one, they allow me a lot of slack. Okay. So...
freedom of speech.
Absolutely, and I love them because of that. So yeah, a round of applause for the lads over there and the girls as well. Like, for a job well done.
Couple of examples, couple of top ones.
Oh, my replies now. My replies, I don't remember them. I think they were like just a lot of people love them, because quite a lot of people say now the hostel came just to meet me or get to know me, because they love the replies. It was hilarious, and people were like, I just want to buy you a beer. I said, what the hell are you? It's like, oh, this is my Adam, I'm staying in another hostel, but look, I read the replies, and mate, they're awesome. They're just like, it's about time. And it's about time people give them some shit. I think everyone is entitled to an opinion.
Yeah.
But the things that I do remember, some they're like, really got it out of my chest. Was like one guy, so as you know, it was a hostel, people need to picture this, like, it's 4 bungalows right on the sand.
Get some photos on the YouTube.
Yeah, alright. So right on the sand in front of the ocean, and some Swiss fella complained there's too much sand. You must be having a laugh. You complain there's too much sand on the beach. Just like, alright, what do I do now? It's like, what do you do now? Like, you just go mental. It's just like, no. Like, and our hostel always ran on salted water, always. Which I understand for most people is just like, that's a no-go. This is horrible. I understand it. Like, it wasn't as bad. We had a lot of people said, look, I'm not sure about it. I booked for one night. If I like, I stay for longer. And some people stayed. Some people said, no, it's not for me. But everyone said at Misfit was cool with salty water. But there was a girl that got there, and she knew, and we told her, look, you know, she was like, yeah, it's fine. And then the next day she just leaves, and then she posts like, yeah, it was salty water showers. Like, are you having a laugh? So straight away, like, I went on like insulting mode. Well, not insulting, but
Sure.
all right, peer to peer, and off you go. This is my reply. So yeah, I loved about it. But we still had great reviews. Like, we're always like number one. Like, we were for 3.5 years. We're number one TripAdvisor again.
That's awesome.
We don't know how. I don't know how. I think Adam did a brilliant job on convincing people to say good things about us. I don't know. We were always number one and number two on hostel and hostel bookers.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, we did well. Again, it ends up to Adam. Adam was better. Like, social relationships, Adam was better.
Gotcha.
Excuse me, far better.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, it's good. It's good. I felt like some power about being able to give something back to society.
Yeah,
you know, in the sense of like a punch.
Yeah,
like it's enough.
Agreed. Just having that in your armory kind of thing to be able to,
It is, because if you go around, like, I don't want to be rude, but if you go around TripAdvisor and all that, like, I remember that there was someone that gave a bad review to another hostel, and I went to see their profile, and one of their reviews was about a town in somewhere in Bolivia that he said he didn't like it because it didn't have any Starbucks. This just baffled me. Like, what the hell? What? It's Bolivia, man.
Scary,
it's not Los Angeles. It's just like,
Yeah.
what's going on with you?
Get
It's
the
like,
grip on reality, man.
but you can get like chicken and rice for like 50 cents of a dollar. Like, hey,
dude.
complain about that in Los
I
Angeles.
could do with a headbutt now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
So there you have
I'm
it.
not a man of violence, but yeah.
There you have it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So no, yeah, we had good times there. It was good. It was good fun.
Oh, no doubt. Well, no, what you created out there, it will always stick with me. So
Yeah, good.
Like,
No, I'm happy with that.
Congrats.
No, still a lot of people still write, mainly to die. She's still like on all social media. I'm not. I'm out. I'm too old for that. But and all of them still keep on asking her like, where are you lads, and when are you guys gonna do another one? And still with Adam, there's people ask like, are you and Rod like gonna start another hostel? And Adam still has the idea of opening a hostel in Colombia, which I already told him there's no way I'm gonna go back to South America.
Okay.
But the idea of opening a Misfit 2.0, it's really now horizons. Yeah.
Cool.
But probably, most probably in Europe now.
Okay.
Most probably in Europe.
Yeah,
Most probably in
yeah.
Portugal so far, but it could be Spain or Italy because me and my girlfriend haven't decided where to live proper. But I will definitely open another one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, man, no, it's in your blood.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't want to manage it now. I don't want to be there. I think that was also my mistake. But I want to have it. I want to have it and go there once in a while. It's just like, for me, I clear my head a lot by being myself, but also like to be sometimes just to be with around a lot of people from different backgrounds. It appeals to me.
Yeah,
It appeals to me.
No, it speaks to me as well, man.
Yeah.
I'm addicted by that feeling now.
True, so yeah. Who knows? Maybe we're going to be partners then. One never knows.
Quite possibly, yeah. Quite possibly.
One never knows. Baby steps.
Yeah, always.
Baby steps.
Always.
Baby
Jesus,
steps.
that's what we've learned.
The idea there.
Sorry, that much. So 2 years now in Portugal since
2 years,
back
two
out.
2.5 years now. 2.5 years in
years.
Portugal. Yeah, 2.5 painful years in Portugal.
Yeah. And then it feels like almost something's bubbled up to the surface. And you took a bit of a mini break to come out here to Bristol.
Yes, absolutely.
So 3 days at Christmas is what I had in my penciled in. My diary. So Di reaches out and she says, "Hey George, great to hear from you. I think I might get Rod some return ticket to Bristol."
It's escalated a bit. It's just like we went off track.
Oh, that'd be lovely, Di. Yeah, sure. And then we sort of looked at dates, and I was like, "Look, it's got to be a weekend, Di, because I ain't got any holiday left.
Yeah, it's true.
Just coming back from Malawi." And then she was like, "Oh no, don't worry, I've just booked it for 5 days between Thursday and Tuesday. I was like, well, don't worry, I can do 2 of them. You know what I mean? It's like, don't worry, he's a big lad. He'll figure himself out. He doesn't need much.
It seems he does. It seems he needs a bed for a month and maybe some food and a few drinks once in a while to keep him going.
That's it.
She's a good salesperson. What do you want me to say?
No,
it was a very nice surprise. I wasn't expecting it because. Yeah, that Christmas was a bit weird. It was a bit weird atmosphere. So, and she almost had no money. I almost had no money. So we're both like, oh, what are we going to give each other? And I had no idea what she was going to give to me because, like, I could see she was like in a bit of a bad mood about not having money to buy me something when I was like, I honestly don't care and all that. But I was like, what the hell? Like, normally she's quite creative about everything.
Okay.
Like, she gave me like some of the weakest presents ever, birthday, without spending almost no money. So I was like, what the hell is going wrong with that this year? And then suddenly, like on Christmas Eve, she was like super happy. I was like, I don't even know. Like, so we was having it in my mum's house. I looked at my mum. I was like, what the hell is wrong with this one? Like, so yesterday she was like about like to cry her heart out. And now she's like super happy. I don't know. So and I could see like she couldn't wait to give me the present, and when she gave me, I was like, what the hell? Like a trip? What? Where? With who? She's like, well, what are you talking about? Who's this person? Because she only gave me a phone number. And I was like, she's like, you're just gonna live on this day, and then she just smacked the days and even see. Like,
that's cool.
Why am I going to Bristol? Like, what's going on here? And like a little letter made of her, like written by her, like I love you and all that. I hope you like it. So there's someone who's going to be there waiting for you. If you want to know, is it that person? It didn't say he or she. It's that person contact. I was like, what the hell? Nice. And I remember, like, I saved the number on my phone and I saved it under cunt. I literally I told her, all right, I'm going to put it cunt. She was like, what the hell is that? I said, you don't want to know about it. Well, I'm going to find out what it is. And I thought, like, it didn't cross my mind it could be you. Because you were just in Portugal, like...
about a year and a bit before.
Yeah, so not long ago. So I was just like... So I thought, like, could it be Ollie, like, the lad that I lived in London? Like, I was like, but how does she know Ollie? Like, she doesn't... Only I have Ollie in my Facebook. And I was like, could it be Adam? I was like, nah, Adam was like, have called me straight away. I was like, what the hell is going on in here? Like, what the hell? And it just, like... I understand, like, I text you, and as soon as I text you, like, I saw the phone, I just start laughing. I was just like, on WhatsApp, I was just like, oh no, I can't believe it. So, yeah. But I don't think a plan was for me to stay that long. Not even my plan was. Or maybe my plan was. Because when she gave me the ticket, gave me the present, I told her straight away that night, I might not come back. She was like, don't you do that to me. I said, I'm just having a laugh, but hey, I stayed for over a month.
Yeah, she wasn't lying.
So I do apologise for that. But thanks a lot for having me, even though it was a bit forced. But
no, not at all.
No one gave you that option, man. Oh, I don't care if you were bothered. Like,
oh, mate, exactly. I didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow, so now you can complain. Like, fuck about it. It's my last night. You can do what the hell.
No. So in terms of the next project, what's the future hold?
Well, the future. Well, that's the reason why I came to see you. So I had, which you already know, but so I have this idea, like, about a website that I really want to create, which is based on traveling. But instead of me traveling, the idea is like, how can I make it for other people to travel for free and enjoy new experiences and unique locations for free? So me paying them. And that's what I've been working on, and that's what you came in to help me, and like your network of friends and the people that you know. And this is now my next step, and I hope to have this finished as soon as possible. Start moving forward a bit faster, because I think, and from everyone I spoke, I think it's a unique project. I think it has market. There's a lot of market for it.
No doubt.
And yeah, if we do it right, I think we can be very successful. But it's been like a mental struggle, because I tend to overthink too much, and as you know, like, I'm only just too big, and it's taking me like a lot of time to understand. They're like, how small is small, like so. What Jack tried to he tried to show me, like, you gotta go small, but my small, which for me looks like a tiny ball, for you is like, man, that's still huge. That's not what we mean. We mean smaller. We're like, but for me it's like, yeah, but small is nothing. He's like, no. That is far. You can do smaller.
Yeah.
So that has been for sure the hardest part.
Yeah.
I'm slowly getting there.
I think that for sure.
I think I'm getting my ideas right. They pop into my head once in a while. So I think we can do something interesting. I'm hoping. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to go back home. That's why I accepted to go back home.
Yeah.
So I've achieved what I wanted there. Especially like understanding like the small can be smaller. So that's the rule now.
Cool.
That's the rule.
Cool. Yeah.
So I'm excited to go back home and to start making some contacts and see if I can get this machine going. Because I also want to associate this with like a green project which has to do paloni trees, and hopefully in that same project with paloni trees, the Misfit 2.0.
Awesome.
So that is the big goal, is like to juggle these 3 balls. Basically,
yeah,
but one is the main one. Oh, as I've learned, the flywheels. It's just basically about all of them around tourism, which is the thing that I love the most, and it is by far the biggest.
It's what you know, eh? It's your thing, eh?
It is my cup of tea.
Yeah,
it is my cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's what I like the most. I cannot do office jobs. I like to be there out there. I like to go different places. I love different cultures. More the cultures than the places, to be honest. Like, I'm a lazy bastard. Again, I lived in Peru for 5.5 years. I haven't seen Machu Picchu, man. I don't plan to ever see Machu Picchu. So, but I live there. So I love living there. So I'm 40 now. I lived in 6 countries in 3 continents. So I'm quite happy about it. So, and this is what I want to do also with project. For me, like, you are the sum of your experiences. This is what for me matters.
Cool.
Which is a big struggle that I have Portugal. Might be why I hate Portugal. I came to realize it's just like, for my family, it's like you are the sum of what you've achieved, like mainly in a material aspect, which understand the logic behind it, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me. So having about 13 people pushing you one way and you being the only one, like, say, like, I really want to go, it's been a bit of a struggle. That's why I tend to one day just explode and say, you know what, fuck it all, I'm out. And I just get out of the country for a while. It can be, 5 days turns into a month. It can be like 3 months, it turns into 7.5 years. It's just one never know. Like, every time I leave Portugal, my family's just like, so when I'll see you? It's just like, oh, soon. And they all know, like, oh, it's not going to be as soon as you say. And it's absolutely true. So I'm excited about it. I was very happy to come to Bristol. Like, I think I've understood a lot about what I want to do. Lovely city. I was impressed with it. I'm very impressed with Bristol, especially the art, the young people. It just, it's different. Like, it has nothing to do. Like, I barely saw anyone that is an elderly. Like,
it's true.
Yeah,
Bristol's a unique city. In that
it
sense.
is unique, and the culture. It's like lively, man. Anywhere, any night you go out, there's people on the streets. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
There's a good vibe in here. There's a very good. It's a very good.
I think so. It's definitely. You're finding a lot of Londoners heading this way now.
I understand why.
Yeah, it's getting incredibly popular now. It's just got that nice blend, I think, between an urban city and just the countryside, as we experience.
As we experience, absolutely. I can't believe, like, we went for a walk and then suddenly I was like, I called my girlfriend, like, what the hell? It was his birthday, I was like, where the hell am I? Like, this, I'm absolutely out of the city. This is mental.
Oh, it's a dream, man.
It's a dream. It's absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you have it all. I lived in southeast London for 1.5 years. Although I love London, it's probably my favorite city in the world. But I can understand why people prefer Bristol. And it's more, I don't know, it's also small, but it's more generally more unique. Like, London just became too much.
Yeah, it's
just too much.
Now,
it's the same as Lisbon. Like, I can't live in Lisbon because of that. That's why I can't wait to get out.
Yeah, okay.
That's why we're thinking about going to a town which is Setúbal, nothing close to Bristol, not even comparison. But the vibe itself is a bit different as well. Like, Lisbon just became a bit too much. Right? You can put them both on the same scale in the sense of, like, make Lisbon like on the scale of very smaller London and Setúbal a scale of a very smaller Bristol.
Oh, cool.
But that's basically what we want. And over there, it's just like you can still go to the port and buy the fish from the fisherman, which for me is really important. And you can walk and you're right at the beach, or you can get a ferry and you're like on the biggest coastline of all Europe, which is 14 k's of sand. It's in Portugal there, so that's why we want to go and live there.
Jeez.
And the weather is far better than in Lisbon and that in here. That's the worst you got in here is the weather.
Yeah, look, your spring's better than ours, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Our summers.
Oh,
Summer and winter, baby.
My summer
we
store.
coming to
I plan to come back if everything goes well. Yeah, I would love to come and spend a bit of days in the summer in here.
Please,
for sure.
Yeah,
No, I'll come with the
looking
girlfriend. I'll
forward
get my own place to stay. Don't worry about it. I don't need that mattress on the
If
floor.
Di's
anymore.
up for a floor mattress, I'll be
Yeah, she might
impressed.
be up for that, but no.
Yeah.
I don't trust you two pubs around my house.
That's about right.
Naked
And rightly so,
girlfriend, so no.
Rightly so.
Yeah, it's just like, no, let's skip the lines away. It's like, we're going to visit them like a neutral ground.
Agreed, yeah,
Pub
yeah,
or some
yeah,
shit
yeah.
like that.
Let's have witnesses, right?
Yeah. I don't want to go up in the roof, like, having a sing and then suddenly, like, what the hell is this noise? Like, it's my girlfriend moaning. Like, it's just like, nah, it's not going to happen, man.
Oh, on that lovely note.
Yeah,
I think,
on that lovely note.
and two sides of Frank. But yeah, no, thank you, man. It's been an intro to the pod. I'm sure we'll do many more of these. But
I hope
yeah.
so, man. I hope everything goes well with this podcast. I hope you put all your energy on this one day. I
For
think
sure,
you have
man.
talent for that.
It's coming.
But
coming.
yeah, you're now on a path that has to
Thank
be
you,
walked as well. But
Yeah.
I think you have a natural. You always had it since Mancora. Like you always loved this quite a bit.
I do.
So
Yeah,
and
no,
thanks
it's
a million
passion.
for having me, mate. This was grand. This was like a brilliant month. Very
Oh
very
man,
good.
it's been quite the trip. I
Yeah.
would say that. You know,
Let's do this again when I'm in Lisbon.
Up
so.
and down, but the highs have been bloody worth it, mate.
True. I'll say
way
more highs
so.
than anything else. Yeah.
Without doubt.
A few lows, but yeah, they're part of life. So it was good fun.
No,
It was
no.
fun.
Oh,
All right, mate.
Roddy, pleasure, my man. And,
All right, mate.
Yeah, until the next time.
Until the next time.
Indeed.
And back to knots, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
To the snow, or the white flowers as I call it. Ah, damn it, what the hell was that? Yeah.
Oh, I love it, man.
Knots in the winter time.
Oh, mate, yeah, we'll get a snowy one next time. I'll get all wrapped up
no,
back in.
I'm not going
Get some
there.
hot toddies.
I'm not going, with all respect.
Banquet Bear Productions.
Cheap and chill.